So good afternoon all, and thank you so much to President Murphy for that. I got a little much goosebumps over here, so. But I'm truly humbled to be able to speak with you all today and share my story with you all. But before I even begin, I want to extend a huge congratulations to everyone who is sitting in this room. All of you are truly inspirational and instrumental to everything that is Phi Theta Kappa. So give yourselves a round of applause, you guys are amazing. So if you told me a year ago that I would be named the top community college student in New Jersey as a New Century Scholar, I would have laughed at you. And if you told me a year ago that I'd be named the top 20 in the nation as an all-USA academic team member, I would have stood in disbelief. The reason for this doubt? Upon graduating high school, I never even thought that I'd be attending community college. I graduated high school chasing the great dreams that I thought only to be attainable at a prestigious college or a prestigious university. However, I soon realized, as many do, that these universities had very prestigious, expensive price points. And even with academic scholarships, I, like most, was left quite frightful for my future. After all, how was I going to afford a college education? And it is at this point that I was introduced to community college. However, to be honest, the negative stereotypes and stigma that surrounded community college were of the first things that were introduced to me. For this reason, I was ultimately embarrassed to admit to colleagues that this was my institution of choice. But after being granted the New Jersey Star Scholarship, I could not turn down a free tuition. Therefore, I enrolled at Brookdale Community College. And as this was not my first choice in institution, I know that I needed to chase and hunt down every opportunity provided at Brookdale, or otherwise it would always feel like a second choice to me. However, with this being said, choosing this institution continues to be what I can confidently declare as one of the best decisions that I've ever made. My initial enrollment in the honors program was the start of my journey at Brookdale, and ultimately the beginning of what I believe to be my success story. The honors program focuses on ideals such as global engagement and thus service learning. As mentioned by Dr. Murphy, this empowered me to get involved with service learning projects through organizations such as Dottie's House, as mentioned, a safe house for women and children who have faced domestic violence, as well as Students for Global Citizenship, an organization which focuses on global issues such as clean drinking water, refugee crises, and issues facing women and young girls in both industrialized as well as developing nations. Both of which allowing me to become an advocate and raise awareness for those who did not necessarily have a strong voice in modern society. And it is at this point in my life that I was introduced to Phi Theta Kappa. Receiving a letter that I had been selected for membership was amazing, and I saw this as an amazing opportunity for both personal and professional growth. I immediately accepted, and within a month, I was elected as an executive chapter officer. Through Phi Theta Kappa, I assisted my chapter in launching of our human rights campaign, which was named Break the Bias, which ultimately became a social movement not only around our campus, but in our community as well. Break the Bias, which, as the name suggests, attempted to break the biases down that are socially constructed through bias, stigma, and stereotypes. And alongside this campaign, we launched a STEM education movement in our community with the goal of breaking down the glass wall that seems to keep students away from pursuing this field, as it is viewed as too difficult to pursue by many. Now, ultimately leading these campaigns, however, I realized that I had failed to break my own bias, and I had failed to look within myself. The reason for this being so. As a female in society, I found that I had ultimately put myself into a field that was deemed to be societally acceptable. I studied nursing for the bulk of my time at Brookdale. However, when examining myself, I found that I had realized that I had fallen into a trap that many women often fall into, largely due to, or at least in my case, the bias that is attached to the STEM field. It is somewhat of a beta trap, as many fields like collegiate education and research and medicine are dominated by men. Women often are left pursuing jobs in our fields in which they belong, in which they believe they belong, so they become, in their minds, logical choices, as this is what is expected of them. In my case, I believe that I was selling myself short and not realizing what I was truly capable of. I was afraid to enter STEM, as I truly believed that I would not be intelligent enough to soar in this field. At this point in my life, however, I saw the necessity to break down my own bias, as I would be a hypocrite if I continued to preach to students to do this without actually pursuing and doing it myself. So I'm happy to announce I am now pursuing a degree in biology at Brookdale and planning to shift my focus to biochemistry upon transfer. My ultimate goal is to enter medical school and one day practice as a physician. I dream to work with organizations such as Doctors Without Borders in order to attempt to provide healthcare to those unable to access it otherwise. Now, the reason for me sharing all of this with you, however, is not so much for the focus to be on me, but rather to you all. as I have never intended, nor do I believe, that the way in which one should lead is to put themselves above those in which they're speaking to. Absolutely not. You're never going to accomplish anything in that way. I am where I am today because I pushed to be an inspiration, to prove that anything is possible, and when you allow yourself to become immersed in that of which you are interested in and passionate about, the rest ultimately falls into place, like it did for me when I became fully invested and involved in Phi Theta Kappa and my college. And I encourage you all to find what it is that you are passionate about, hold on to it, and see where it will bring you. See what doors it will open, see what doors it will close, and where you will find yourself. And I'm not saying this will be an easy task, because it absolutely will not. And you will face challenges along the way. But I can assure you, once you reach your destination, everything will fall right into place. As anything is possible, but it is up to you to create your own success story, as no opportunity is ever handed to you on a silver platter. You have to create it for yourself. It is ultimately up to you to seize the hands of your own success. A point that I stress to all members of PTK and my colleagues around me. So in summation, I want to thank my friends, parents, my mom sitting in the audience, my faculty colleagues, and amazing advisors, Dr. Shaheen Prasad and Angela Saragusa, for all you have helped me with. Additionally, thank you to Brookdale Community College and Phi Theta Kappa. I owe a great deal of my success and where I am today to you. Thank you, and congratulations to you all again.